Now, he's an enigma. Just when you think you know him a little too well, Mahendra Singh Dhoni is bound to leave you completely perplexed and confused, and back to where you were when you met him years ago on a cricket ground covering the sport as a cub reporter. That was me more than a decade ago, but it is in keeping with the man, the cricketer that he's always been, full of surprises. So what's the latest then? MS Dhoni's bag of tricks. Just a day before the mega IPL opener between Chennai and Bengaluru franchises, the mega face-off in IPL 2024, comes a shocking revelation that MS Dhoni, Tala Dhoni as he's fondly called, will not lead his side anymore. Would you be surprised if I said it is such an MS Dhoni thing to do? The reveal was, of course, a post that the T20 League put up on their official handles of the 10 captains with the trophy. Here you thought there is Rishabh Pant coming back after a year of recovering from a near-death car crash, Pat Cummins, a new T20 captain, Hardik Pandya standing there in Mumbai jersey, another new captain in Shubman Gill in the Gujarat franchise, but the vision that has got everyone by surprise and of course that has grabbed everyone's attention, the man in yellow, not the long-haired MS Dhoni who's giving serious 2007 vibes, as you would expect, but the young opening bat, Ruturaj Gaikwad, standing right next to the trophy. Well, what do you know? There is shock. There is utter disbelief. How could he even, and now, after a stellar 2023 title-winning performance? Then there is the realization, you as the fan are consoling yourself that he is still around, he will of course play. Who else can keep wickets and be that electrifying behind the stumps than this man? And then, of course, there's a smile because even if you, the fan, have not seen the man behind the cricketer, MS Dhoni has done enough, laid the breadcrumbs, as they say, to reveal this side to him, the side that likes to surprise, to tease, to prank. Of course, right after that post, Chennai Super Kings came about, were very quick to respond after that post revealed everything, and they said MS Dhoni has handed over Chennai Super Kings captaincy to Ruturaj Gaikwad ahead of the start of the Tata IPL 2024 season. Ruturaj has been an integral part of Chennai Super Kings since 2019 and has played 52 matches in IPL during this period. And of course, what I'm hearing from sources here exclusively is that no one really knew, barring a couple, of this decision, and it was quite a shock to the entire team there. In fact, they had a team dinner just last night, where it always happens, and as you've heard in the past, all these team dinners, MS always gives a speech, there is a lot of conversations, there are some things that go about, and there is that gathering of the entire contingent, the squad, the players, the management that come under one roof and celebrate a season that they're looking forward to. And there was no hint of this to follow. But before I tell you about what he was like in that Chennai dressing room as skipper, let us get the numbers out of the way to just show what Ruturaj is up against. He's been the most prolific captain for the side. Probably Rohit Sharma has been just as successful in the Mumbai franchise at the helm. MS Dhoni has only, to my knowledge, missed captaining Chennai franchise for just 4 matches. The last one was in 2019 and Suresh Raina stepped in then. It was in Chennai against the Hyderabad franchise. He's never missed a game thereafter. Now on to this surprise stepping down is in character, is in keeping with the MS Dhoni that we know. Remember when he stepped down from international cricket? It happened during the COVID season 2020. In fact, it was during the IPL prep because IPL that year was called off during the camps, and then of course they joined again in August before the season began in September in Dubai. So it was during that preparatory camp, just a few days before the team were to assemble in Dubai, MS Dhoni's announcement comes ringing through all social media platforms. And at exactly 7:29 p.m. on August 15, saying, as of that time, consider me retired, in his own words, with a video and what his favorite song was humming underneath. Said a few things about the man, how quirky he could be, absolutely no one knew, and he did not tell anybody till that day. In fact, what I got to know later from a lot of the people and players close to him was that just before he was going to post that, he called them in the dressing room, said that he would do this as respect to them being around him at that moment. We hear Suresh Raina broke down into tears, and of course he also went ahead and did the same thing. And as always, so too did Raidu and a few other members who were there when he was announcing this. And he did it on a day that he holds dear, as army symbolizes an important place in his heart. Later, I got to know how, at the latest training session before the IPL was called off to be played in the UAE, MS Dhoni, of course, had done this and everyone had broken down. So, as we know, Suresh Raina followed the leader, and yes, we know how unpredictable MS Dhoni could be. He did the same thing years before that when the team was touring Australia in the middle of an intense test series against the hosts. Right after the Adelaide Test, MS Dhoni announced his retirement from Test cricket and Virat Kohli as the heir apparent. That was just as unexpected as his teammates and the support staff all were just as shocked. That is the enigma of MS Dhoni. I have shared some unbelievable moments with the man during his absolute peak. I was privileged to be around the CSK dressing room, to be around the time. He's a champion. He played to win. He's captain cool. But his team, especially the youngsters, adore, love him and look up to him as much as they feared him. The doors of his room always open, and his smile and jokes will always greet you every single day, no matter the day, no matter whether it was before an intense match or right after a win. The man taking charge, of course, Ruturaj Gaikwad, is someone who has grown up in this franchise. From being picked and groomed, being scared and tentative in the initial years, where he at one point couldn't even score more than one run, to now captaining the side, piling on the runs in confidence, Ruturaj has come a long way. And under, of course, MS Dhoni's guidance. I remember joking with him just last year that he will be the future captain, and it's all sort of laid in plan. Because the franchise has a way of reposing faith and trying to groom leaders, even though MS Dhoni would always be the one true leader. Now, of course, they stumbled around when Ravindra Jadeja was appointed skipper for that season, and that, of course, resulted in quite a chaotic one. So this decision, if we care to pause and think really, makes a lot of sense. Ruturaj stepping up to the challenge was a while coming, and this had to happen. Just when you thought things were all going according to plan, MS Dhoni does this. And no matter how many days you spend getting to know him and spend memorable moments, picking up life lessons, he will still manage to surprise you. Memories that I will always cherish, post-match talks and conversations, quiet celebrations, playing table tennis together, speaking of his family and his child, learning the ways of the world, because many of the conversations with him, with MS Dhoni, always veered towards the philosophical, which explains his captaincy too. There's always method in the calm madness. And that is what he is. You think you know him, but do you really? The quest to be the best is here, and it's a storm that's raging. Will the Lions script a dramatic win? Will the prodigal sons return, rock the boat, or lead it to shore? Will the men follow the women to say "E Sala Cup Namdu" in 2024? Will it be a new team that will lay its hands on the golden trophy, or will the experienced smile their way to victory? Well, the biggest league in the world is here, and Firstpost will get you all the analysis, the big names, fantasy picks, and all the buzz in our special coverage, T20 Summer Storm. Bring it on.